Have you ever settled into your favorite chair, perhaps with a cup of tea in hand, and suddenly realized the house feels a little too quiet? Maybe you glance at the clock and think, when was the last time I laughed with an old friend, or even just shared a hello on the phone? It's easy, as we settle into our golden years, to let social habits slip away. After all, routines shift, families grow busy, and weekends at home can start to feel, well, lonely. But here's the good news: reconnecting with the people around us, and even making new friends, doesn't require grand gestures or marathon outings. It simply takes small, intentional habits that fit right into your day. In this conversation, we're going to explore 6 warm, simple social habits that will gently boost your emotional health and help you build lasting friendships at 60 and beyond. These are habits you can weave into your mornings over breakfast, your afternoons with a stroll in the park, or your evenings curled up with a book. You'll find they not only brighten your mood but remind you, day after day, of the joy of genuine connection. Let's begin with a habit as old as friendship itself: reaching out regularly. Think of the people who have colored your life: neighbors you've waved to for years, cousins who live across the country, or that bridge club you used to attend every Friday. What if, just once this week, you picked up the phone and gave one of them a call? No agenda, no hard questions, just, "Hello, how are you?" You'd be surprised how much a 5-minute chat can lift both your spirits. Maybe you reminisce about the time you went fishing together, or catch up on a grandchild's latest school play. Scheduling that weekly phone date, whether it's a quick check-in or a longer heart-to-heart, creates something to look forward to and reminds the other person that they matter. If the phone feels a bit intimidating at first, try mixing in a text or handwritten note. It might feel old-fashioned, but there's something special about finding a friendly card in the mailbox. You could write a line about a memory you share, or simply let them know you're thinking of them. Then, when you do chat in person or by phone, there's already a smile on both of your faces. Over time, these regular touches form a gentle web of connection that keeps loneliness at bay and invites more frequent get-togethers. Now, let's talk about the art of listening with your full attention. We all know how nice it feels when someone really hears us, and it turns out, attentive listening is one of the most powerful keys to deepening friendships. Picture yourself across a kitchen table from a neighbor, her hands wrapped around a warm mug of coffee as she tells you about her new gardening project. Instead of glancing at your watch or thinking about dinner plans, lean in a bit, make eye contact, and respond to what she's saying. "That rose you're growing sounds beautiful. How did you choose that color?" Or, "What happened when your tulips started to bloom?" By showing genuine curiosity, you're giving her the gift of being seen and understood. If you find your mind wandering, try a simple trick: repeat back a word or two of what they've said, like "tulips in bloom," then ask the question. It's a small habit that trains your brain to stay present, and it helps the other person feel truly heard. Before you know it, your conversations will flow more naturally, laughter will bubble up more often, and both of you will leave the chat feeling lighter and more connected. With those 2 habits under your belt, reaching out regularly and listening with heartfelt attention, you've set the stage for deeper, more fulfilling friendships. Now that we've covered the importance of picking up the phone for that weekly check-in and the simple magic of truly tuning in to someone else's story, let's move on to another habit that brings a spark of joy to every interaction. Imagine this: you've just wrapped up that friendly phone call, and your heart feels a little lighter. You hang up and realize, I haven't seen Mary in person for ages. So you pick up the pen and jot a quick note: "How about coffee next Tuesday?" A simple invitation like that, no fuss, no fanfare, can be the spark that turns a routine week into something to look forward to. That's our 3rd habit: creating shared moments. When was the last time you sat down, face to face, with someone who makes you laugh or reminds you of life's simple pleasures? It could be a neighbor you've waved to but never really talked with, a cousin who lives 2 towns over, or an old colleague who once made your workdays feel meaningful. By extending an invitation, whether for tea in your garden, a short walk around the block, or a quiet afternoon playing cards, you're building a bridge of experience. You're saying, "I value your company," and giving both of you a chance to make new memories. It doesn't have to be elaborate. You might suggest meeting by the community center bench, where the rose bushes greet you each spring. Or perhaps you start a monthly bring and share afternoon. Everyone brings one dish and a story. Over time, these small gatherings become rhythms in your life, like the weekly mail delivery, but instead of bills and ads, you're receiving laughter, companionship, and stories you'll treasure. Now, sometimes the hardest part is following through. We've all made plans only to let life's little emergencies push them aside. The neighbor's cat needs feeding, the grandson needs a ride, the plumber arrives early, suddenly your coffee date is slipping through the cracks. That brings us to our fourth habit, honoring your commitments. Reliability is the soil in which trust grows. When you say you'll be somewhere or do something, your friends know they can count on you. If your plan needs to shift, a doctor's appointment ran long, rain cancels your walk, simply send a quick message or call, "I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, but my schedule changed. Can we move to Thursday?" That little courtesy shows you care about their time, too, and it keeps the connection alive without awkward silence or frustration. It might feel odd at first to treat social plans as seriously as you treat a doctor's visit, but give it a try. Write it on your calendar, set a reminder, or rhyme it up with another habit. Monday mail check becomes Monday mail and call to Joan. Before long, holding to your word becomes second nature, and your friends will respond in kind, deepening that cozy sense of mutual support. Let me share a quick story. My friend Carl used to be retired and fairly content watching old movies alone in his living room. Then, one day, I invited him over for popcorn and a classic Western at my place. He hesitated. "I've never hosted movies," he told me, but later he admitted he'd been hungry for company. That one evening turned into a weekly ritual, and soon Carl was suggesting films, even inviting others. His living room transformed from a quiet retreat to a lively gathering spot, all because he accepted an invitation and then made good on his promise to come. So far, we've talked about reaching out, truly listening, inviting guests into our stories, and keeping our promises. Each habit builds on the last, weaving a tapestry of trust and warmth. By now, you might be picturing your own coffee table or park bench conversation, imagining how these moments could renew the bonds you already cherish, or help you forge brand new friendships. Weaving these habits into your life doesn't require grand gestures or perfect timing. It only needs a willingness to notice someone, reach out, and follow through. Imagine the ripple effect. A neighbor feels appreciated, a cousin feels remembered, a friend feels heard. Each small habit is like dropping a pebble into calm water. The ripples extend far beyond what you see in the moment. Next, we'll turn to two more habits that bring curiosity and celebration into your daily connections, helping friendships grow richer and more resilient than ever. And here's where the real magic happens. Our fifth habit is about staying curious. When you meet with a friend, don't just ask how they're doing, ask what's new in their world. Maybe your neighbor Helen has taken up watercolor painting, or your bridge partner Robert has been learning a new recipe each month. By inviting them to share these fresh discoveries, you're opening the door to laughter and shared excitement. Imagine Helen describing the gentle wash of blues and greens across her canvas, and you admiring how well she captures the morning light. Or picture Robert walking you through the spices he's experimented with, maybe even passing along a small jar of his favorite blend. That spark of genuine curiosity not only makes your conversations richer, it reminds both of you that life is still an unfolding adventure. Curiosity also fuels your own sense of wonder. You might decide together to try something neither of you has done before, a pottery class at the community center, or a lunchtime lecture on local history. Even if you fumble with clay or doze off in class, you'll come away with a story and a chuckle. These shared firsts become the kind of memories that weave friends closer, because you're not just reminiscing about what was, you're celebrating what still can be. Finally, let's embrace our sixth habit, celebrating the little things and expressing gratitude. At the end of a visit, take a moment to say what you appreciated most. "Thank you for telling me about your garden. I can't wait to see those peonies bloom." Or, "I'm grateful you came today. Your company always lifts my spirits." Simple words, offered sincerely, stick with people. Gratitude reminds both you and your friend that these moments matter, and it plants seeds for the next time you meet. You might even make a small ritual of it. At the close of every gathering, raise your teacup and share one thing you're thankful for in each other. Before you know it, these little celebrations become as expected and as comforting as the afternoon sunshine. So, you've reached out regularly, listened with your whole heart, crafted shared moments, honored your commitments, nurtured curiosity, and sprinkled gratitude on top. Each habit alone can brighten your day, but together they create a tapestry of goodness that can carry you through quiet mornings and busy afternoons alike. And the best part? You don't need to wait for a special occasion. These habits fit into any Tuesday afternoon or Sunday morning chat. I'd love to hear which of these habits resonates with you. Have you tried inviting someone for coffee or sending an unexpected note? Or perhaps you've discovered new joy in asking a curious question. Share your stories in the comments below, because your experience could inspire someone else to reach out today. If this conversation has warmed your heart, please give it a like, and consider subscribing for more ideas on living fully and connecting deeply. Here's to welcoming friendship and emotional wellness into every day, no matter our age. The best is always yet to come. By now, you may already feel a spark of possibility flickering inside you. Perhaps you've sent that note, taken that walk, or simply leaned in a little closer when someone shared their story. That's exactly where the magic begins. To keep the warmth alive, it helps to turn these habits into gentle rhythms, woven into the fabric of your everyday life. Think of them not as chores, but as invitations to notice, to reach out, to celebrate small victories, both yours and your friends. One way to nurture this rhythm is by keeping a simple connection journal. Each evening, jot down one person you reached out to and one thing you learned or appreciated in that interaction. Maybe you discovered your granddaughter's favorite new hobby, or you laughed at a neighbor's recollection of childhood pranks. Over time, this little notebook becomes a living record of the laughter shared, the support given, and the memories created. And on days when you feel a bit low, flipping back through its pages can remind you of all the brightness you've sparked in other people's lives, and in your own. You don't have to go it alone either. Think of someone in your circle, a spouse, a best friend, or even a sibling, and invite them to join you in this journey. You could set up a weekly check-in call where you each share one meaningful moment from the past week, or you could swap stories in person when you meet for tea. Having an accountability buddy makes these social habits feel more like shared fun than obligations, and you might even discover new facets of your friendship along the way. Plus, celebrating each other's small wins. I really loved how you asked about my painting yesterday, reinforces that sense of mutual care. As seasons change, so do our social opportunities. When spring brings its blossoms, perhaps you and a friend begin a standing date to stroll through the park and admire the tulips. In summer's warmth, maybe you join a community potluck or host an impromptu lemonade stand for the grandchildren and their friends. As autumn leaves drift down, you might slide into a cozy book club meeting or enjoy a quilt and coffee afternoon at the community center. And when winter settles in, there's nothing like a shared puzzle by the fire or a festive carol session to lift spirits. By adapting your habits to the seasons, both of the year and of life, you keep socializing fresh and exciting, and you give yourself gentle permission to rest when needed. Don't forget the power of digital connection, too. If distance or weather ever makes an in-person visit tricky, a quick video call can bridge the gap. Invite a grandchild to show you their latest art project, or watch a favorite old movie together virtually. You could even co-create a shared playlist of songs that remind you of each other, then take turns adding a tune each week. These small, creative digital rituals deepen your bonds, especially when physical visits aren't possible. And as you master new tech tools, you'll find confidence, and even a bit of fun, in learning alongside someone you care about. Remember that habits thrive when they're simple. Try linking a social ritual to something you already do, say, sending that thank you note right after you've enjoyed your morning tea, or setting a phone reminder at the same time you check your daily pills. Over weeks and months, these habit anchors turn invitations into second nature, so reaching out becomes as effortless as flipping on your bedside lamp. Through all of this, you're not only building friendships, you're strengthening your own emotional resilience. Each genuine conversation, each commitment kept, and each moment of gratitude you share is like adding a brick to a safety wall around your heart. When life's inevitable ups and downs come, you'll have a rich tapestry of connections to buoy you, reminding you that you're never truly alone. And here's the beautiful truth: the kindness and care you give to others invariably come back to you. With each shared smile and story, your emotional health blooms just a little more. So take a deep breath, lean into this next phase of life, and trust that these 6 habits, woven together, will open doors to laughter, support, and friendships that last a lifetime. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. May your days be full of warm conversations, unexpected invitations, and the simple joy of knowing you're part of a caring community.